It stops in our tracks when two young athletes die within 4 days. And of course it has us asking, are we doing enough to medically screen our kids before we let them play sports? The latest tragic tale, 17-year-old Matthew Hammerdorfer playing rugby Saturday, took a hit, did not get up. He was taken to the hospital and later died. Now, according to affiliate KMGH in Denver, the teen died. He had a heart condition. Local papers say his family was aware of the problem and he'd had at least one corrective surgery. That's his story. And in Michigan, they're still grieving the death of 16-year-old Wes Leonard. He made the game-winning shot on Thursday in a playoff game. Then moments later, he collapsed and died from sudden cardiac arrest. Came to find out he had an enlarged heart. Now, Fenville High, his team, they're going to try and win for him tonight. They're going to play in the state tourney. That game has been moved to a bigger gym to accommodate all the interest in this game. Then his funeral is on Tuesday. It's going to be incredibly emotional 24 hours for all those young people involved there as well. So back to the point here. Two young kids die. Are we doing enough to prevent this? One group says we need to do more. Martha Lopez Anderson, she's the president of Parent Heart Watch. It's a group that looks to protect kids from sudden cardiac arrest, and this is very close to Martha as her 10-year-old, Sean, died while rollerblading of sudden cardiac arrest. That was back in 2004. So, Martha, thank you again. We know you're so invested in this. And people say, okay, we're going to look at this. And obviously the first thing that comes up is it just costs too much. And is it worth it to do these things? What do you say to that?
I think that we have no other option. Children are dying every day, and the right thing to do is, through primary prevention and early detection through cardiac screenings. And as a baseline test, EKGs are showing that we can save lives. It's being done in our country already by, doctors. We have a doctor in the Chicagoland area, Dr. Joseph Marek, that has already screened over 53,000 young people in the Chicagoland area, totally free of charge, and he's saving lives every day. Additionally, the state of Texas also, when they passed the law to require automated external defibrillators in their schools, they also included in the legislation a pilot screening program starting in the 6th grade level. So clearly, it is recognized that through screenings we are going to save lives.
Save lives. And let me just let everybody know what you're, and others besides you as well, but I know you're advocating awareness, cardiac screenings, EKG. You want teachers, coaches, parents who are involved in teams to know CPR and also to have a defibrillator at a gymnasium or at fields where sporting events take place, right? Those are the three basics there to form an emergency action plan in case, heaven forbid, something like this happens again, right?
Right.
Okay.
Absolutely. CPR and the use of an AED is actually our secondary approach or prevention approach, because that is really you're reacting or treating someone that's already in cardiac arrest.
Okay, so Martha, now you've got the American Heart Association who they don't agree that EKGs are the way to go to screen our kids. What do you? I know you don't want to have this battle with them, but how do you approach this, and how do you maintain a relationship with them when they're disagreeing with what one of your main tenets are?
Well, I think that one of the things that we really need to have additional dialogue on is that American Heart Association indicates that family history and together with a physical examination is the way to go. And yes, family history is critical. But then my question is, what happens when family history starts when that child collapses and dies, and other surviving family members are not identified until that child dies? So, in my son's case, my son never missed a well-child checkup. So there was, at no time did he exhibit any warning signs or symptoms, and during his physical examinations, nothing was detected. We had no prior family history of heart disease. So then we have to have dialogue about that, because while this is being said, again, children are continuing to die.
And your contention is the number we hear is 40 student athletes die yearly in this country because of serious heart ailments. You say that's a bigger number because some of these kids, like your son, was rollerblading. That's not an organized sport.
That is correct. I think that in order for us to really have a true grasp of the incidence of sudden cardiac arrest in youth, we need to look at all youth, athletes and non-athletes alike, regardless of the activity at the time of their cardiac arrest. That is the only way we're going to really know how many youth are being affected by this silent killer.
Okay. Martha Lopez Anderson again, we're sorry for your loss. Thank you again for joining us.